Hello, I'm Alex, and today I'm going to tell you about what we did for our final project for advanced embedded software development. We mainly wanted to explore a lot of the capabilities that we had on the Jetson Nano inside of our own custom Yocto Linux distribution and see what we could do and see how we could support it with the capabilities of Yocto. So the first thing we did was get all the system components up and working and just the basic functionality, not as quickly as I'd liked. I think next we could have streamlined that and just getting a basic implementation up and working quicker. But we got NTP working, we got basic Docker containers working, then we went into more functionality with Docker containers, and my partner was working on his Qt application at the same time for a graphical user interface. Once we got the basic Docker container up and working, we ran some object detection models, tried to run a lot and only had success with one. Just a lot of weird external dependencies that we were trying to track down and having issues matching what NVIDIA's Jetpack SDK does. So we got the basic object detection that someone in the class did recently or previously. We got that working and processing videos, and then moved on to a large language model and getting that running on the NVIDIA. So that's running and you can interact with it and it'll talk to you, and I'll show a video for that. And we also got a web interface for the large language model, and that is a server hosted on the NVIDIA Jetson Nano. Here you can see that the NVIDIA Jetson is hooked up to this monitor and this keyboard. I'll demonstrate some of its basic functionality now. So just to prove that we're getting the date accurately, you can see it's pulling from an NTP server that I configured it to pull from. Now you can see it's running a DeepStream NVIDIA Analytics Docker application that was provided from the class previously. Someone created a wiki page on it, and I decided to take it and see what I could do with it also. If I had more time, I'd like to actually get it to stream out over RTP or RTSP to a host computer, but we were running into issues with that, so we decided to move to the large language model. But I will speed up the video here and show it actually processing the video frames. Now through the magic of SCP, you can see it on the host computer, the video that was run through the model. And it's annotating all the people and counting pedestrians. Now you can see we're about to run a command to start the large language model Docker container. This proves basic functionality of the Docker along with the large language model. Had to mess around a lot to get this to work, and had to change the memory and memory swap size to be equal and add a much larger size for the Docker container. These are just passed in as arguments for Ollama, or the container command to run the Ollama container. Once that's running, server is now started. We can run Ollama serve, and this starts the server. Then from another window, I'm also going to launch the container and launch an interactive session with the model. As you can see here on the host machine, I am SSH'd into the local IP of the Jetson, and I'm going to launch another container to interact. So now I can do llama run phi3. If I could spell correctly. And over here, you see the server starting up, getting ready to serve. And on the host machine, also, it's not on the host machine, but it's SSH'd in from the host machine. It is thinking. And the model is already loaded into the memory on the Jetson. It's just taking a little bit to get ready. Okay, now it has a prompt to send a message. Start with hello. It's gonna wait a second. It's fairly slow. I need to work around and figure out how to tune it a little bit more, but greetings. How can I assist you? You can see over here it's running just like requests, like put and post and get requests. So you can see as we're working on the Pi or on the Jetson. How can I assist you today? What can you tell me about HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. The term HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is the foundation of data communication on the World Wide Web. Okay, so this is gonna run for a while, and sometimes it kind of gets hung up and it'll wait for a while on a word and trying to generate a word. I don't exactly know what it's doing, and the server doesn't give me enough of an indication on what it's trying to do. But yes, it's generating responses still. Here is the login page for the Open Web UI. And you can see at the top, we are connected to the same IP that I SSH'd into earlier, which is the Jetson over HTTP at port 8080. Going to get started. Enter my name. So you can just make up anything. Gives you this update, and you can see it's serving GET requests here on the Ollama server, and now it's trying to use phi3, which is the model I'm using, and I can type in hello. Now it's probably going to run into issues on the server end. I'm still working on issues why this isn't running, but I think it's just too much for the, I don't know, too much for the RAM. I'm running out of size, but I think I can get this working with a little more help. But yeah, it's giving an internal server error, and then you can see that on the server side, which I fixed earlier by increasing the memory availability for the Docker container, but I don't think I can increase it too much more. But yeah, it's failing to allocate some fairly large buffer. The project definitely had a fair amount of ups and downs, and we learned a lot through doing it, and still there's a lot that could be done. We ran into a lot of issues with external dependencies and trying to support those and match the current the relating release of Jetpack to that and all those dependencies. But we learned a lot using our own custom operating system.